Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Catabolic Window episode. I can't remember. Today I've got an interesting host of topics. What? 44.
44.
44.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Wi-Fi. 44 says Mr. Wi-Fi. I'm currently playing with my dog because he is too excited and he's going on a walk. Don't you, little man? Luke, how has your week been?
Yeah, bro. Good. I've been at Apollo this week.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I was training a client there on Sunday. A little bit of online coaching in person. Great day.
That's illegal.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. It's actually
Never.
against the law.
It is. It's against the law.
Yeah, and I was like, it's £5 for a day pass, or I can pay £10 for the week. I'm like, I might as well just pay £10. And then I trained the whole week there. Done a good couple of sessions. Kit is pretty damn good. The only two things it needs, three, okay, I'm going to be picky. Three things is it needs a length and focus leg extension. They've got the prime one on order. It's coming in like January. They need a better lying leg curl because it's a bit weird. And a better adductor.
Fair.
Shit.
Well,
But
Apollo, if you're listening,
it's
you
got-
know what the fuck to do, mate.
Yeah. No, I was actually speaking to the geezer that owns it today, and he was like, "Yeah, they're the leg extension, and that's on order." And he's getting like the good prime machines as well.
Hey,
Because
good.
they wanted them in like black and red for the gym. They're
Yeah.
taking even longer. He was like, "We ordered them the start of last year with
Ooh.
12-month time."
Jesus.
And I'm like, "Yeah, they get you. They get you."
Yeah, that fucking sounds about right. The state of the kit in not just in the UK but globally, trying to get kit is so fucking annoying.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not. How have we ended up in a kit talk already, man?
Already, boy, and I got the PT project logo.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it, we'll go with it. Right. So they've got some of the Gym Leco stuff, and I've got very mixed opinions.
Yeah.
So when they've done good, they've done pretty damn good. But when they've done shit, it's like nonsensical.
That's
Like,
how I
it
feel
doesn't-
about Panatta. That is how I feel about Panatta, mate, honestly.
Yeah, the Panatta leg extension's good.
Yeah.
The chest supported T-bar's alright. The rest of it fucking sucks. All of their pushing machines suck.
Yeah. I like the lateral though. That's probably the only bit of Panatta kit that I love. is their
I don't get
lateral.
on with the lateral. I can get on with the Atlantis one. The Atlantis one is fine for me.
Really?
And I think it's the Gym Leco one that they've got Apollo, and that's fine. But the Panatta one I just never liked. It was just weird, man.
You got to not grab the handles. You got to just have your hand resting against it, like on the inside, and you push out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But the preacher was so weird, right? So I tried it the other day with no weight, like just looking at it. I was like, oh yeah, that looks alright. Because it's got separate axes for the arms, so they both come in. I'm like, that lines up reasonably well with where I want to go. I put load on it, right, bro,
Yeah.
and it's the worst profile you've ever had.
Really?
So where the start position of the machine is like well beyond where you'd actually have to start, so you have to reach over to pick them up. It's then like literally the plates are like parallel with or perpendicular with the ground there. The arm of the thing is parallel, so it's horrendous. Like, you know, when you get that arm snapping sensation at the bottom of a preacher curl, it's like that. And then you bring them all the way up and you're like, oh, this is a tricep challenge now, let's go.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah,
They
man.
they took
So,
the
I
length and
did
partial
like
to
two
whole.
other preacher curls, and they also weren't very good. So it looks like dumbbell or cable preacher for me. But yeah, they got a good amount of cable stacks. They've got they've got this ab machine. Have you seen the ab machines that are like a glider?
A glider? Oh, what? Like you kind of swoop in like that?
Yeah, so it's on like a metal thing that's like this.
Yeah.
And then your knees here, you slide up.
Yeah,
with this
yeah,
ab.
yeah.
Yeah. The Atlantis one is incredible, but the one they've got here, right, it doesn't really make any sense, because
Really?
most of the machine is like flat on the floor. Well, there's no challenge to your abs there, and then there's actually a little bit where it starts to go up again at the end. I'm like, this is like now posterior, right? Literally every person I've seen use it just uses the bottom bit.
That's mad.
And they put like 5, 10, 15 kilos on it. And I'm like, I do it with just the machine, and it hurts so bad when you do it properly.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if you can like stay I hold it like maximum 150 degrees of like hip flexion. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the max I'll go down to, and then just keep going there. And oh yeah, attack of the dog. So yeah, overall, pretty good week. Not too bad, and it's nice to be at a different gym. To be fair, because I get bored of gyms.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like training, same place, I just get bored.
Yeah, vibe. That's facts.
What have you been up to? Actually, I haven't. That's the only thing I spoke about, but we can go back to me in a minute. I'm more.
Yeah, you'll have your 15 minutes. We both went to the PT Project live event, which was exciting.
Yeah, tell the listeners what Paul was fascinated by.
What do you mean? What, by me being fucking ruined?
Yeah. What specific ball and socket joint does Jack not possess?
Well, I do now. I was born without hips, yeah. And Paul was just baffled.
He was so excited. He was like, "Oh, this is a new one. I want to play with this."
Yeah, actually. He's like, "So you're born without an acetabulum?" And I'm like, "Yes, so they tell me. I don't really remember." And he's like, "What?" Oh. Yeah, honestly, my lower body joints are wonderful to work around. But yes, we did the PT Project live event. Other than that, just been training and signing on clients. I'm one away from closing, which is cool. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I've had free sign-ups this week as well because I'm closing for a couple of weeks because my jaw's getting busted open, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to be ideal. So free sign-ups, set up one the other day. Vegan setups that always take a little bit more brain power. But at the end of the day, like, if I've got a client that's got a problem and it's shit that I can help them fix, I'm going to do the work to learn how to help them fix it. Like, that's more exciting. It's more exciting trying to solve a problem that you don't have the answer to. Do you know what I mean? Than like, oh yeah, this has happened to 5 other people, so like this is what tends to work.
Yeah. Yeah, like when things are going smoothly, it is great, but have you ever had someone where you just haven't made a change in so long that you're like, okay, this is actually starting to get a little bit boring now. Can you come to me with a problem, please?
I think it was my client Aaron. I coached him for like a year, and like the last couple of months, like his food was literally the same the whole time, and he was just gaining, he was just progressing. Yeah. Like, you're literally no effort to coach, and every single week is like, thank you, bro, thank you so much for the help. I'm like, I don't really fucking do anything. Like, you do everything, and he's just fucking flying. It's so cool.
Yeah, man, I had the same thing with Liam where I set his food and body weight was just coming down, performance was going up, and I was like, right, no changes, and it just went on like that for, oh man, fuck knows how many weeks, but it was like every single week was a solid like 300-400 grams lost, and yeah, we just kept trucking on. Sorry, I'm letting the dog out at the same time. I'm not just wandering around for fun.
Yeah, like a month into that, you just start, you don't even reply to their checking, you just send them a thumbs up emoji and then they're alright.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I said to him,
I
said, just start lying and just tell me that like you've had a serious issue, just so I can like do something.
Please, like, let me feel useful. Yeah, to be fair, I set up another client today. Well, not technically new. He was actually one of the first people I ever coached. I took him on for free like 2 years ago.
Oh my god! And,
yeah, man, it was mad. So he was like, yeah, I'm still following the same training program that you gave me then, and like was still seeing good progress with that. I just want to take it more seriously. And I open up the old sheets. I'm like, fucking hell, these are worse than I remember. Did you see I posted it on my story, bro?
I don't think so, no.
Open it. It's so funny.
Is it like, on there
these
today?
Are the worst sheets you've ever seen, bro. Like, I physically don't understand. But at least the training program that I made 2 years ago was working. So I did still know what I was doing.
How bad was the plan, realistically? Genuinely?
No, the plan wasn't bad. It's just the sheets were awful.
Where's it on your story? Is it on your Insta story?
Yeah. I posted it like 5 hours ago. No, 6 hours ago, maybe. Something like that. After the thing of the protein powder and before the story of me ranting about academic studies. You see?
Shit. Oh,
Yeah,
shit. Oh my god, yeah, that is like a spreadsheet.
yeah. It's like there's no effort to make that look pretty.
Yeah, you were just
Man,
like, you're just like,
man
here's what
was.
we're tracking, and you will
Yeah, I'm
track
glad he didn't pay me.
it. Oh god.
I love that when that comes up, like old check-ins or something like that. Oh, Loom opens it by accident, and you're like, oh, I'm so glad I'm better than this now.
Oh yeah, literally, man. Like I fucking probably every week I'll make a change to the sheets, even if it's just like this, changing this color to that. I'm just like this looks nicer now.
What did I change this week? Oh, I changed age to date of birth.
Yeah, no, genuinely, shit like that. Yeah, honestly, like it just adds up. Like I had a on my check-in, I had a box for hunger and a box for cravings, and I was like, this check-in is quite long. Let's just put them together. I just chucked
Yeah,
it
I
to
did
her.
that as well. I
Yeah,
don't think most people can differentiate between, to be honest.
no, people cannot. No, it's something
Okay,
that I've talked to a
question
few
then.
clients about. To
What's
be
hunger?
fair,
What's hunger for you? What's cravings? Just to be useful.
hunger. The way that I always phrase it is hunger is unbiased. Hunger is if you are hungry, I could put anything in front of you and you would eat it. Cravings are like I could put anything in front of you and you probably wouldn't eat it. If I put like I don't know if you've heard the unflavored creatine one. If I put a scoop of unflavored creatine in front of you, if you were hungry, you'd eat that. If you were
Also,
crave,
creatine's not going to fill you up, bro.
I guess okay, protein powder then, right? But if you're craving, you're not going to have that. If you're craving, you're not actually hungry. You're just hungry for something specific. So you're not actually hungry.
I would even go so far to say that if you're really hungry, you would eat something you don't like.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, if you are actually hungry, like obviously there's a spectrum of hunger, but if you get hungry enough, if you're saying, "Oh, I'm really hungry," and I said, "Would you eat?" Like, I fucking hate cucumbers. When I'm hungry, I'd scran an entire cucumber in an instant.
Bro, they're so bad.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't.
thank God.
I had them when I was dieting, right? And
Awful, awful.
my auntie grows like organic, like grows her own cucumbers, and they're fucking awesome. They're
Yeah.
really nice. But the ones in the shop just taste like water.
Mate, literally, they are shit.
The shittest vegetable on the planet.
They are shit. I just diet off of spinach and lettuce at this point, honestly. Not currently, I'm not dieting, that's why I just burped, because I'm fucking full of, well, bread and jam and a sandwich that I got on the way back home. Macros.
Are you having digestive issues?
A little bit. I had a protein bar, which wasn't smart, but it is what it is.
Bro, you're literally like 2 months into a gaining phase. How are you this shit already?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love how quickly you go from one end of the spectrum to the other. It's hilarious. Are you
No,
still
no,
hungry?
It's yeah, I am hungry. It's literally because so I was training with the client, and then I dropped him back home, and I had to get back here, to see my dog, to get some client work done, and then do all this before jumping on the call. So I was like, I'm not gonna have time to cook because I didn't prep anything because I'm an idiot. So I just stopped by the fucking petrol station and was like, right, 60 grams of protein, 1,200 calories. What can I get with that? So I got 2 protein bars, a tuna mayo sandwich, and a chocolate bar because I wanted a chocolate bar and had the calories. And I was like, cool. And then I realised I was 200 calories under, so I had like two slices of toast and some jam, and that's that meal done.
What chocolate bar?
It was a white Kinder Bueno.
Good choice.
Thank
Do you know
you.
what? I really like Boost bars. They're fucking good.
Valid, bro. They are fucking peng.
Do you remember when Yorkie used to have in the O of Yorkie, it used to have the cross out sign and women?
Yeah.
Those were the. You would never get away with that now.
Mate, honestly, yeah, they get so much shit. It's such a weird marketing strategy, though. I can't imagine it like, because like back when that was a thing, it didn't offend anyone, or it didn't offend the majority of people.
No one cared.
Yeah.
No, it
But
was.
why is that good marketing? Surely that is it.
But
Surely it's just neutral marketing back then.
But I guarantee that as a percentage, more women had Yorkies than men. I guarantee it.
Maybe. I don't know. Don't know, mate. But it's just so weird because I could almost see it being better marketing now because people talk about it. Like, because if we're following the all press is good press, surely you'd want to do it now.
So hard.
But back then, no one cared, so
In the streets, no more Yorkies.
it's so fucking weird, though. Yeah, but then everyone's saying Yorkie, you got Yorkie on the brain.
Well, no, but if you say to someone, no, you can't have this food, it's not for you. Like, what are you immediately thinking about? You're thinking about eating that thing. You're like, I want it. Why
True.
can't I have it? Surely it must be good.
Maybe that was their marketing strategy.
That
They were
was it,
like,
trust me.
they were just trying to get the number of women that eat them up. They were like, we have a male dominant audience. Let's try and get women pissed off and make them eat it. Can you not squeak your toy, bud?
I can't believe that. I don't remember when it like stopped being a thing. Right,
Probably.
Because we've been fucking useless so far. We're 15 minutes in.
We're officially in phase 1 of the gaming phase, up from phase 0.
It's phase 0, not get a fat cunt. Or be a
No,
fat cunt.
phase 0 is TRT. And,
Okay.
Phase
Okay.
1 is anabolic. Can you fuck off? What are you doing? Phase 1 is anabolic. So yeah, there you go. I'm not going to talk compound amounts because that's silly. Not as in I'm using a silly amount, as in that's just silly information to give out. It's not a good idea.
You're not taking as much of me as right. I'm in so much gear. I want to know what my nat test is.
What your natty test?
Yeah, I haven't had it checked in like 18 months. So.
You've only ever had it checked in prep, no?
Hospital the other day, and they didn't tell me anything interesting. I just sent it to Christian. I was like, I don't know if any of this is useful, bro. But I just wanted to send it anyway. And he was like, yeah, you're not going to die. It's all good. And then I sent him like the staying alive meme thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sent him this.
Fucking hell.
So, bro, we're more prepared than last week.
Yes.
Got some topics in mind. Your dog is trying to distract us.
I'm gonna distract you. Hang on.
How do you feel about Mr. Mike Mentzer?
I think he has some good principles, but he also has some not so good principles. Much like kind of anyone, I guess. What do you think of Mike Mentzer?
Bro, I'm not going to lie, I don't really know much about him apart from he was the high-intensity training dude.
That's pretty much all there is to know, I'm not going to lie.
That's his entire personality.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit more because I've looked into it.
Yeah, give us a...
His whole training philosophy was everyone chronically overtrains. Going into the gym is a waste of time because all you do is break muscle down. So the idea was very, very, very low volume, like ridiculously low volume, ridiculously high intensity. So for example, with Dorian, he did a bicep workout where they went to concentric, then eccentric, then isometric failure. So all in one go. So he would do the curls. It was a set of 7, by the way. Set of 7, I don't know why I remember this. Set of 7 to failure, and then he couldn't get another concentric. So then they went to eccentric. I think it was eccentric next. I think so. It was either eccentric or isometric next. Went to eccentric next, and then they went to isometric where he just.
Where did they do the isometric? Was it at the top or the bottom?
I don't know. I think I need to let my girlfriend in. I think she's banging on the door. One sec. Luke, can you entertain the audience?
Yeah, so basically, guys, high-intensity training, as Jack has already told us, but I'm going to try and repeat while I think of something else to say, is where we do a really low amount of volume and really high intensity because that's the only way to do it, and you have to do it that way. And if you don't train balls to the walls until you are basically going to explode, you're never going to make any progress because that's the only way to train. And now I'm going to start talking about top sets and back off sets because that feels like the only place where my brain can go, Jack, do we have anything to add before we go on our little rant that we've had this week about top set back off?
Do we have any? Do we have anything to add about it?
Okay, actually, yeah, right. You said something that was a bit crazy. What did he do that's good?
So the general principle of you need to be training fairly hard, like overload, as an idea. Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, that's good.
The idea
I have no idea.
I know, right? Well, because Arnold didn't really place any emphasis on intensity at all. He just put all the focus on volume.
Like 5 hours a day.
Yeah, literally. Like obviously he trained hard, but he didn't talk about it. He just talked about like work hard in terms of how long you spend at the gym. So pushing people to train harder, fantastic. Pushing people to stay within, pushing people to stay within their recovery capacity by not just doing stupid volume, fantastic. Pushing people to progress lifts, fantastic. But pushing people's volume so far through the fucking floor that he said that even him doing like 2 working sets or whatever the fuck he did was too much. Like, that's ludicrous. That's ludicrously low volume. Like, he was so far into the spectrum of high intensity, low volume that it was almost that it was counterproductive, I would argue. And the actual answer lies somewhere in between. I think when you find yourself on an extreme end of the spectrum, you're probably wrong, because the answer's pretty much in the middle, right?
Yeah, I completely get what you mean. There's almost this assumption that this is what's worked for me, and therefore this has to be what worked for everyone else.
It's like
Olympia's doing what he sort of did.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like he was like, oh, training hard elicits the best stimulus, so I'm going to train all of the hardest way possible, and I'm going to drop volume back down so I can train even harder. And it's like he never stopped to consider that maybe just concentric failure was enough, maybe just form breakdown failure, momentary muscular failure is enough, and that actually he would get more out of doing more volume, moderate volume, at the same high intensity, instead of just ramping the intensity constantly and keeping the volume so low. So I think he would have got more out of it.
Sort of that hypothesis is, okay, maybe that's going to work better, but at the end of the day, you can't like split it in half. Okay, Mentzer's already got into training, he started enjoying his training, and one of him goes balls to the walls intensity, and the other one goes a little bit more moderate approach, and who ends up being the better bodybuilder? You can't do that.
Even then, personal preference, if it's Mike Mentzer, it's going to be biased, because he's not going to take volume seriously at all, because he doesn't care.
Very true, bro. Very true. It's really shit when we have these debates because we agree. We need topics to completely agree on.
I don't know what we disagree on, to be honest.
Basically, we have all the answers and we're right all the time.
Yeah, Mike Mentzer just, like, he was along the right lines, but he just fell so far into his own camp that he got carried away. But I also think that people are like, oh, Michael's a scientist. I think if he was around today and had the evidence that we had today, he'd probably disagree with himself back then. I think it's just he lived in an era that was before ours, and we had less information on exercise science and hypertrophy than we do now, right? So I feel like he would disagree.
What we have now isn't adequate. Science is never done. It's one step at a time closer towards the right direction, and even then, it's more crossing off the wrong direction than it is finding the right one, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Like, and again, it gives, like, what's best on paper just gives us kind of like a dartboard to shoot at, and then we still have to like figure out the fucking minutiae of what we're actually going to do within that. So like, okay, we generally know that in this area, training a little bit closer to failure does well. But how close to failure do we go? Well, that's a whole different can of worms.
Yeah, Jack, why don't we take your quads to failure? How's that going to go? You reckon?
I mean, my quads will be fine. My knees...
Your knees would explode.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Or like that's where people fall into certain camps of like, you need to do this, you need to squat, you need to bench, you need to deadlift, or you have to do some kind of squatting pattern. It's like, well, what if I was born without hips, bro, and I want to grow my quads? Maybe I can't do squatting patterns. So what am I going to do? Just live on the leg extension? Well, yeah, I can get a stimulus out of it, and if it's pain-free, let's fucking do it. That's not the case in my example. The leg extension hurts more than squats. But if I was in that situation, then that is what I would do. So
I saw Paul playing around with that offloading thing again. So what he did was he put a daisy chain around the top of the leg extension and then set up a band again. So it like did it for him. Because when we were at the live day at the weekend, I was holding the thing and manually deloading the top part of the brain. So he basically had a daisy chain around the top. James was like, get a really fat, strong band, and like, as in, this is the distance of the daisy chain, and then the band goes most of the way there, so it stretches a lot. It might be worth trying if you got a fat daisy chain. But we've got, like, we were talking about this with Keno the other day as well. Shout out, Keno. I know you're listening, big man.
Yeah, boy.
About the modern day version of this, which is, I only train top set back off. Mm-hmm. As if it's like it's a way you have to train. And it's not even a training style.
I know, it's not a training style.
Jack, it's like us going, I only give my clients giant sets.
Yeah, literally. Like, they were like, oh, how do you, like, I guess people kind of tend to have a training style, so it's like, oh, how do you like to train? Imagine if your answer was just rest pause sets, or like
Yeah.
straight set. Like, what? It's just a type. Like, what? How do you like to eat? Protein. Carbs. I like to. How do you like to eat? What diet do you follow? Beef, chicken. Like, yes and no. But yeah, mate, top set back off really grinds my gears.
What annoys me the most is when they say, "Oh yeah, I'm proper low volume," but they do 4 exercises where they do a top set and a back off for each. So that's 8 sets for the same muscle group, half of which is usually accomplishing the same thing.
Yep.
So they've arbitrarily moved on to a different exercise for no reason whatsoever. And we will do 2 exercises which are the same thing, which are different things, and we'll do 3 or 4 sets on each of them. Oh, gosh.
It's the same thing.
So we've actually done the same amount of volume. We just weren't kicking and screaming and hitting machines while we were doing it.
Like, it's going to come down to somewhat your personal preference. And I've had it before with clients where the idea of, say, 4 sets of leg press isn't very nice. So maybe if they've got 2 leg presses, maybe we split it up
It's
into
not
2
nice
and 2.
in practicality either.
Exactly. So that makes sense. But the whole idea of my issue with top set back off is the way in which people use it. And the way in which people use it is, I'm going to do 2 sets for all major compounds. For most isolation lifts, I'm going to do 2 to 4 sets. People who top set back off their isolations, unless you have incredibly well developed delts and arms, what the fuck are you doing? But you could be doing infinitely more sets to gain more out of it.
Because that's the training style. You have to top
Exactly.
But
and
if I need more lateral raises, do you know what I'm going to do, Jack?
Another exercise.
I'm going to do a dumbbell lateral raise, and then I'm going to do a machine lateral raise that works through the same path.
Exactly, yeah. They'll be like, I've seen it before, like seated dumbbell lateral raise, standing dumbbell lateral raise, cable lateral raise, working the mid to short, and then a machine lateral raise working the mid to short. Fantastic, mate. Fucking fantastic. We're all doing the same exercise 4 different times. But the issue with top set back off that I have is people just arbitrarily pick an exercise, arbitrarily give it 2 sets. Oh, I'll do 2 sets. Why? Because that's top set back off. We always do 2 sets. And what rep ranges am I picking? Oh, the low one and the high one. Okay, fantastic. And what order do I do that in? Oh, it's already pre-made. Like, that can work for some people, but it just doesn't take into account how many weekly sets you're doing, first of all, which I think is a big flaw of it. Is if we're not considering how much total work are we doing and you're just looking at it exercise per exercise, I think that's pretty narrow-minded. If you're always starting off with the loading set and then the higher rep set, well, welcome to my knees and my hips. That's not going to work for me, buddy. Like, I can't do that. But, that's not top set back off. And also people saying that, like, oh, it's always 2 sets, and if I need to do more, I'll do another exercise. And it's like, why? You're going to run your gym out of equipment that you can go to because you're going to use everything in one meso. Baffling.
No, they don't do measures though.
Oh, sorry. It's called they just call it a training block, I guess, then. Or a plan. Or a phase. Or I don't know. I've got nothing wrong with if you're using top set back off, but just don't constrain yourself to it, which is what people do, which is wrong. Like, fucking play around with it. And if you follow top set back off because Jordan Peters, first of all, Jordan Peters doesn't do 2 sets on everything. He does as much as he can recover from. He doesn't always do a higher set, a higher load and then a lower load. And he doesn't call it top set back off every single time. And guess what? He doesn't even split the rep ranges every single time. And guess what? He also sometimes does like 4 sets, 5 sets, and sometimes he does 1. Yeah. It's just...
I, the other day, in a client's lay session, he's got hip thrusts in there, and he's got 2 higher rep sets first, and then 1 lower rep set. And he was like, just checking, it's supposed to be the higher rep first and then the lower rep.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's how. And I was like, how does it feel? And he was like, oh, it's great. I can get a really good connection.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, weird that.
Yeah, like if I've got like I've got kind of crap shoulders because all my joints are shit. If I've got a lateral raise, I'm normally going to start off like 15 to 20, get a lot of blood, get a lot of pump. It's, it's a weight that is pretty safe for me. I don't need to warm up a lot. And then once I've done 2 sets of that, then I can go to my like 5 to 10s, my 8 to 12s, because I'm already warm. And the only reason that I drop the reps down there is just to save time, to be honest, because I can't be asked to do like 4 sets of 20. So I'll do 2 sets of 20 and 2 sets of 12. So that makes sense. Like, I'm able to justify why I'm doing things. And why 4 sets, Jack? Because that's what I can recover from. Because I tried 5 and it didn't work. And I did 3 and I upped it to 4, and 4 is the magic number. That's what I can recover from routinely. And I actually tried 5. I did actually try it. I didn't just go 2. It's always 2. I'll do 2 sets. I can't recover from any more.
Right answer for me as well, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Always 4, mate. Yeah, always 4.
Tell Christian he's programmed wrong. Jeez. Outrageous.
It bugs me so much. People be like, I can't recover from more, and I'll be like, in the nicest way possible, how heavy are you lifting? Because like, it's like, you see, I've spoken to a guy with 100 kg deadlift telling me he couldn't do more than 1 set per week, and I was like, your recovery must be fucking awful. I'm so sorry, but your recovery must be fucking awful if you can't recover from that. Like, and yeah, lo and behold, he got like 5 hours of sleep a night because he was addicted to TikTok, and he was spending all night on TikTok. And I'm like, well, there you go. The answer isn't 1 less set. The answer is 4 more hours of sleep.
Mad. I can't remember what I was going to say now. I was going to say something.
Top set jack off.
No, it was that. Oh, I actually psychologically quite like doing the high rep set first, because it doesn't feel as much of a pain in the arse. Does that make sense? And then I've got the lower rep. I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
It depends on like my lifts. I run my lifts pretty high rep anyway nowadays, just for safety. But I'll run the later sets lower rep because I don't like spending ages in the gym, because I don't know, I just lose focus, to be honest. Like, I like to keep my sessions a little bit shorter. So if I'm gonna do, yeah, you're busy, bro. If I'm gonna do like a bunch of sets, I'll probably make the later ones as lower rep as I can get away with, without getting injured. And yeah, just because I don't. The high rep ones are more like being safe, and then the low rep ones are more time savers.
Yeah, spot on. I reckon we leave the other person's training we were going to talk about for next week. Do you?
What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, you were useless, bro. The other person whose training we were going to talk about, should we leave that till next week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. You had a question about a certain type of diet and should we use it, and what was it? This is the same topic of like, it has to be one way, because a lot of people will tell you that.
Yeah, so let me find this full question. One for the podcast. Keto, is it something you'd recommend as a coach or know much about it? Is it something you'd want to sway clients away from? Is it something either of you tried? Advantages and disadvantages for clients and their goals. So yeah,
Dibs.
I mean, all right, go on, kick it off, mate.
Keto, what is it? A ketogenic diet is a high protein, high fat diet, but even then, true keto is like pretty high fat and not actually that high protein.
Yeah.
And then basically no carbs whatsoever. And people spout the benefits of, oh yeah, I don't really have gut issues anymore. I don't feel sluggish. Yeah, of course not, because you've eliminated all the processed shit that you were eating. Yeah. Of course you feel better. That's weird. I can't believe it. Serial.
Fucking hell.
Would I use it with clients? Inadvertently, yeah. Maybe we've got to get someone really fucking lean. Well, we don't want to take away their protein unless they're trying to lose muscle, which would be a weird thing to come to one of us for. Yeah. Or if they were trying, and we don't really want to take away from the minimum amount of fats that they need to have, because without those, their hormonal function is not going to be ideal. So if we need to pull from somewhere, it's probably going to come from carbs. So they might go into keto, not accidentally, but sort of get the point there.
Accidentally in a way, because we're not deliberately putting them on a ketogenic diet. We're just kind of dieting them through the only macro that we can really subtract.
Yeah, we're not going, right, bro, you need to do keto, it's going to get you shredded.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is it something, if I had someone come to me and say, I'd like your help with XYZ, I'm following a keto diet at the moment, it's something that I've really enjoyed, it's something that I've seen benefits from, I'm not going to say, nah, bro, you can't build muscle doing keto. Like, it's not the same thing, but it's like when we were talking about before, one of the clients that you work with now, like previously someone tried to dissuade him from being vegan.
Yeah.
So that he could build more muscle. It's like, no, that's a choice that person's already made.
Literally. Like, don't impose, I guess, your lifestyle onto other people when it comes to like food, because that is going to be a personal preference. So we've covered what keto is. You've covered some of the alleged benefits. To some people, you will actually get benefit, right? There's going to be a diet out there that clicks for you.
No, that is a benefit.
Yeah.
Like feeling less sluggish, having less gut issues, having more energy, that is a benefit. But it's not from keto.
Yeah.
It's from stopping doing all the other shit that you were doing.
But if keto is allowing you to do that, then sure. I mean, me and Luke would both sit here and say you'd be better off with some carbohydrates in your diet and not eating like a mong. But if you want to do keto and that's the only way that you can do that, then go for it. So is it something you want to sway clients away from? That reads to me like we've got a client who's come to us with from keto. Now, I would normally approach this because keto isn't quite like veganism or vegetarian, which is normally kind of quite like morally linked to someone. I wouldn't really ever talk to someone out of that. Keto is a bit more of it's a less of a moral choice, more of a personal choice. So I would then talk to them and be like, okay, why are you keto? What draws you to keto? And then just based on their experience and that, and I'd say, if they're like, oh, I tried it and it was shit and I went back to keto, I'd be like, cool, that's fine. But if they're like, I don't know, I was told it was good, so I'm just kind of doing it, I'd be like, right, well, would you be open to not trying it? Because on paper, we do want to have some carbs in there.
Pen, right, bro, tomorrow we're going to have 4 bagels, we're going to have some rice, we're going to have every piece of fruit under the sun.
That's going to fuck them up.
Yeah. You'd want to slowly introduce one thing and see what's going on, like an elimination diet, which is essentially what keto is to start off with.
Yeah. So, yeah, we wouldn't really... I guess, would we sway people away from it? Depends on the background. Like, it depends on the reason for doing it. If they genuinely sound like they get value out of it, then no. If they're just doing it to do it, then we probably would sway them away from it.
I think depending upon the person as well, the way in which you would do that would be very, very different. Like, say, someone like you 2 years ago came to me, was like, right, bro, I want to compete one day, I want to get the maximum amount of results. And, like, after building a relationship with that person, I would pretty bluntly say, okay, if you want to get the best possible results, like, keto's not going to be the way to do it.
Exactly.
It might be for 0. Whatever the fuck percentage of people, but it's probably not.
Well, I'd still argue then that, like, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who doesn't use a shit ton of carbs during like a workout. Like, are there really people that skew that heavily towards fat mobilization?
He was carnivore for ages, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's coached by Jared, and they like slowly started introducing carbs, and he's literally like gotten bigger and leaner and just fucking exploding. Yeah. Oh, it's weird that.
I know. For those of you that don't know, resistance training, weight training is a form of anaerobic exercise which mainly uses carbohydrates. So the reason that we want to shy away from keto, a diet which is low in carbohydrates, is because you are literally depriving yourself of the thing that you're mainly going to be using to train and recover from to get big. So if you want to get big, put yourself in the best position to eat to get big without taking the piss. Oh, now I've got to let my girlfriend in. Right, bear with me 1 sec.
Bloody hell. Right, okay. I'm going to talk about one of the other things that has annoyed me recently. So, well, not annoyed me, but something that I think is worth talking about. So quite early on into working with a new client, I tend to get something along the lines of, I hope next week's better. As if just hoping, Jack's laughing,
I am.
As if hoping that the following week goes better than this one for some magical reason, the genie's going to come out of the hat and solve all your problems is enough. It's not. The best predictor of what you're going to do in the same situation is what you've done for the last year. And unless you go out of your way to find a solution to that problem and try your best to implement it, because you won't be 100% the first time round, then it's not going to happen. There's not someone that's magically going to do the work for you.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're talking about people saying, "Oh,
I hope this week is better.
yeah, this week was shit. I hope the next one was better." It's like, you were the one that did the week, man. Sometimes you have to own your shit. I think this is a conversation I've been having with more clients. Is like, respectfully, you need to own your shit. But it goes both ways because people don't own their own successes. But they don't own their own failures either. So, like, if I check in with Christian, and like towards the start of this push up, and I'd be like, "Oh, I had an untrapped meal. I'm a bit pissed off at myself because I went over. Like, I definitely took the piss. Hope the next one goes better." And he'll be like, "Mate, well, whose hand put that food in whose mouth? Like, my hand putting it into my mouth." Like, he's like, "I'm not there shoveling food into your mouth. It's no one else is shoveling the food into your mouth. Like, it is you making that decision." I'm like, "Well, yeah, obviously." So own your shit, whether it's good or bad. Like, if you form a good habit, own it. Well done, you've done that. But also, if you make a shit decision, just fucking own it. And if you live in denial about it, you're more likely to make the same fucking mistake anyway. So just own your shit and be like, "Oops."
What I was going to say. I was going to say the first step to that is like awareness of what's actually going on. Like, most people don't realize what's in a traditional sort of off-plan meal. They don't realize how many calories it is, or on a night out. Like, this happens all the time. Like, the first night someone goes on while they're working with me. Yes, I still let people go on nights out. Weird, mad. We'll literally plan it out. Like, okay, how long do you think you're going to be out for? Oh, I think I'm going to be out from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, how many drinks do you think you're going to have each of those hours? Probably 2 at pre's and then 1 for the last like 3 hours a night. Okay, so that's however many drinks. Let's say 13. Right, can you pop that into MyFitnessPal for me and tell me how you feel about that number? And I get something along the lines of, "Holy shit, I can't believe it." And then it's, okay, are you comfortable with the impact that a few hours of alcohol is going to have on your progress for this week? No, not really. What can we do to reduce it? So then they're asking me, what can we do about it? Rather than me trying to say, right, bro, that's really not acceptable. We can't be having that many drinks. Accepting that they're the ones who are responsible for it. And then we've got all the tactics of, okay, we can still have 13 drinks, but they're going to be half the size. Yeah. Cool. We chop calories in half. Every other drink is a soft drink. Your mates are so pissed they aren't going to know if you're drinking vodka and Diet Coke or Diet Coke. Yeah. True. Bish bash bosh.
No, that's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. But yeah, people need to own their shit in general. Yeah. What were we talking about before then?
I can't remember, bro.
Oh,
we were talking about keto.
Yes.
I don't want to wrap because I didn't know how to carry on with that conversation.
I'm trying to remember if there was one more point that we wanted to make. Is it something either one of us has tried was the last one that I wanted to touch on, because we've already talked about pros, cons, and what we would do. Inadvertently, both of us, yes, we've both run low carb diets, but I wouldn't call it keto. It was kind of like min fat, min protein, min veg, no carbs. So I wouldn't really call that keto. I guess fat load would be pretty damn close to keto, but I've not fat loaded.
Not doing it long enough, but I can tell you how I did feel for the few weeks that I was doing. What was it, like 1,500 calories? So it was protein and some fats. I think for a couple of weeks I had carb post workout, and then after, like, it was literally fucking 200 grams of potato post workout, and then after that I was that. So I was doing 60 minutes of cardio on a training day, 90 minutes on a cardio on a rest day, training upper lower 4 times a week. Jack, how do you think I felt? 2 weeks. How do you think I felt?
Pretty fantastic, very energetic, and very happy all the time.
I was on top of the world, bro. I definitely wasn't, like, literally retarded after I got back from the gym and falling asleep at 7 p.m.
Oh, mate, I do not miss the being so lean that you just exist in perpetual brain fog era. Oh.
Literally, bro. Literally. I was actually talking to someone about, like, being a couple of weeks out the other day, and this is just something I'm pretty sure I've said this in the podcast before already, but you get to a point where, like, everything you just want. So I was having, like, skinny syrups and just fucking loving them, mate. There was one point where I literally poured some into a cap and just did, like, a shot of it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this. I'm like, right, Luke, you have fucking problems now. I won't be getting skinny syrups next time I'm on prep.
Yeah,
I just won't.
Next time I'm going to avoid trying to go for those, like, low calorie, fucking
set like calorie saver options, because you do just end up like getting weirdly addicted to them, because your brain's like starved for dopamine because your food's so fucking boring, and you're like, I just need a hit of like something nice, and you just end up like flying through sweetener and syrups, and like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I don't know, it just feels not fantastic for your relationship with food, and it feels not fantastic for your wallet either.
And the more attention you pay to getting that sweet kick, the more you crave it as well.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get this post-workout, I'm going to have my cream of rice and I'm going to love it. Like, mate, I still fucking can't eat cream of rice. It makes me feel sick. Because I have it twice a day on prep.
Damn.
And I don't, you didn't follow me then, but it was literally like fucking every day. Here's my cream of rice. Here's the banana that I've neatly laid around the outside. Here's me smudging my dark chocolate across the top. Look how amazing this is. Every fucking day, bro.
Sometimes in a diet you do need to make your food a little bit bland to reduce, to just kind of accept that like the food is going to be boring and move on with it, you know what I mean? Just having your meals kind of pre-planned ahead and a little bit like they're good enough to eat, but they're nothing that you'd like really crave, like mouth water. I think sometimes if you do struggle with adherence in a diet, or you do struggle with like food focus, just craving focus, having your meals just be like, okay, I eat like 4 or 5 times a day, some pretty mid meals, and that's it, and they're already set in stone, and that's just the way things are. Taking that stress away from yourself, taking that thought, remove food as even a thought process in your head and something that you look forward to. Just forget that. Just eat to survive, and then focus on doing other things to enjoy, like spending time with people. I think the most successful diets I've had are ones where I just made my food boring and just accepted that I'm not going to get excited by it, and I'm going to get excited by something else, like a fucking video game or a TV show or seeing people or going to fucking movies or whatever.
Yeah. Nice. Bro, do we have anything to... Actually, let's round the episode off on this. I don't think we've done this before.
Right.
What are your plans for the next couple of days?
Wow,
Jack?
That's a good question.
Oh, no, wait. Let me go back to this. This was really funny. No one's going to laugh now. So, Jack, you know when you trained with your client today?
Yeah.
You said that you dropped them home.
Yeah.
So is that part of the coaching service as well?
No.
You get free lifts?
No.
Oh, fuck.
No, he's just from my...
Jack
from
taxis.
He's no, literally coach. Jack about your bus. No, yeah, that took you a second, didn't it, dickhead? Fucking hell.
No, I just got it.
There we go. Coach, as in like bus, you dumbass. No, he's from my hometown, so I know him personally, so that's why I was able to drop him back.
Don't you think it's you shouldn't be getting that close with your clients, bro? Can't be building friendships with people.
Oh, yeah, God forbid that we actually get on with each other. Jesus.
Outrageous. Yeah, what are your plans for the next couple of days?
Fuck knows, to be honest.
Are you going to go and walk King?
Oh, yeah, that's true. And then I will eat. And then Saturday and Sunday, I will chill with Chloe. I got a bit of training to do. I got a bit of work to do Saturday, but luckily I've got ahead of most of the client work. I don't have any check-ins on the weekend, which is nice, to have like that little break. So then I feel refreshed for Monday. But yeah.
I've got my last training session before the jaw surgery tomorrow.
Damn, exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to train with Dan at Apollo. I've got legs.
Oh.
My session of the week. The session that makes me question why I pay Christian money every single week, which is the 20 to 30 on the leg press.
Anabolic though, anabolic.
Yeah, I'm going to try the leg curl that they've got at Apollo. Is one of the ones where you can change where the input arm starts, like as in you've literally got 180 degrees of pivot on it.
Shit,
wow. Make it a leg extension.
Oh.
And because it's a lying leg curl, you can obviously lean back like fuck. So I'm going to see if I can mess my rec fem up.
Damn, I like that. Send a video of that or put it on your story. You fucking lying horizontal on a leg extension.
Yeah, people are going to be like, oh no, this kid's taking optimal too far.
Oh yeah, mate. People definitely will say that. Definitely.
I haven't been posting detailed stuff on my stories about training. I've just been doing the this is for videos. Enjoy.
Fair. I can't be asked to like. Thing is, I feel like if I break down my training, I'm going to say the same thing every single week. And
Oh, I
feel
do
like,
say.
yeah, I feel like people get like, I feel like people get bored of seeing me do the same shit over and over, so I try and like space it out. But I'm literally going to be running the same block for months now. Like, it's going to be the same shit every single week. So maybe I need to post more of my meals because
Actually,
what?
and that's how you actually do it.
Yeah, literally. Although I will be posting the low incline dumbbell because I want to get to 60s. I really want to get to 60s. I want to get to 60s and I might retire it because I'll go for something stable.
That's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard you say.
I just really
The
want 60.
set with the 50s wasn't that bad, but
Yeah,
if you were
that's
going to
right.
try and push that to 60, you need to tidy it up first.
Yeah, I will do.
Properly fucking
I'm not
own
going
it. I
straight
done
to
some shoulder
60.
press today.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
Yeah, because there was an old school Nautilus one. Well, no, I tried the Jim Lecco one, and that it's one of the ones where the handles start to go behind you,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, I don't like that. Then I tried the Nautilus one, and that was awful as well. That it just feels like the handles are going away from you, but not in a nice way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're scooping away from it. It's weird. And then I tried the hammer strength one, and that was weird. So I was like, fuck it, I'm dumbbell pressing. And that was actually quite nice. And it looked like I had a tricep while I was doing it, so I was very impressed.
How high of an incline did you go? Or yeah, how high of an incline did you go?
The bench doesn't go all the way up because it's one of the like weird ones where you move as you move the top of the bench, the seat moves as well.
Oh yeah.
So it was 2 down from upright.
Okay, that's pretty good. Oh. Sick. I had lost you for a second there.
So like 75 degrees.
Decent. That's a good, bro. That is a good
Maybe.
pressing angle.
Yeah, I'll let you go and walk. Yeah, it was very optimal. Front delts were smoked after 2 sets. Only 2 sets.
Jeez, tops it back off.
No, because I did like 10 and then I did 7. I'm like, I can't be asked to get another set of dumbbells and do another set, and they already felt fucked, so I did 2. Didn't follow the program.
How dare you, mate?
Yeah, it's almost like I auto-regulated and know what I'm doing. Weird.
Right, I'd better skedaddle.
That's all good, big man. Yeah, sick. We'll get this one uploaded.
Oh yeah.
If you don't hear from us for the next couple of weeks, it's because my jaw surgery didn't go very well and my face is fucked and I now can't speak. But this should be coming out like a week and a half after we filmed it. So hopefully I'm feeling a little bit by then and we can get a podcast in that week. So I know Jack's really going to miss me next week.
I am. I'm going to miss your rambles, mate.
Yeah, my rambles are sick.
Cheers.
Okay, see you later.
All right. See you, big man. Take it easy. Oh.